I know this might sound stupid, but this is what they remind me of. They're you get your first
starter Pokemon,
right? Most people would choose Squirtle and Charmander.
Yeah.
And there's the low percentage people will choose Bulbasaur, right?
Hey guys, it's Gus.
And Carlos from Hardware Unplugged.
And today we'll be checking out 3 Esports Tiger Pads in collaboration with Kovaak. But before we get started, please make sure to hit the like button to show support. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. With that being said,
let's begin.
Alright, so we have 3 mouse pads, 3 Esports Tiger mouse pads in collaboration with Kovaak. We have the Kaos, the Morpheus, and the Target, right?
Target, yeah, or the
TRGT.
TRGT.
Yeah, so these mouse pads. So these mouse pads, they were, again, as mentioned, they were in collaboration with Kovaak. And at first, I thought they were kind of generic because
yes, they are.
The performance is like they're virtually the same. They're down the middle. They're kind of like out control plus ish kind of performance, right? Down the middle, well balanced, right?
Yeah. These are definitely well balanced pads. They're not fast. They're not slow.
Yeah.
You can generally use them with mostly any game, really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And in a way, they're kind of like They're perfect. They're kind of like perfect starter mouse pads, right?
Yes.
In a way.
Yes.
Because each one, again, the performance are virtually the same, but they have these different characteristics that cater to different play styles, right? So before we get into that, right, let's get into the surfaces and specs one, right?
Look at the boring stuff out of the way, right? So
this
so all these 3 in the box, it claims that they are 480 millimeters by 400 millimeters and are apparently 4 millimeters thick.
Yes.
So when it comes to thickness, I think they're correct, right?
Yes.
They do feel thick, right?
Yes.
But the sizes, they are different and they are not the same.
Yes.
Now, they're not off completely by a whole lot.
No.
But I can tell you right now, the Target is definitely the smallest one out of the 3.
Yeah.
Then it being what was it? Then it being the Kaos.
Yes.
And then it's the Morpheus. The Morpheus being the just bigger than the Kaos by a little bit, literally by a little bit.
Literally.
So that being said, yeah, the sizes are different. I don't know why they would put the same sizes on, on all of them when they're clearly not, but that's okay. It's not like it's like a drastic. Oh my god, they're really that far off, right? Like they're really not, honestly.
The bases, right? So
yeah,
the bases. So the Morpheus and the Kaos both use that Pure Plus base. Now, it's kind of weird because even though they have the same base, the firmness on these pads are not the same, right?
No, they're not.
Right? So, because of that, the Kaos, the Morpheus, for some reason, is more grippier than the Kaos, right? But the Kaos, at my desk, it was when I use my hands, see, it moves quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
When I'm playing, it doesn't move at all, right? So when I use force on my hands, it will move. But when I'm playing, it does not move, right?
Yeah, so using force moves it, using not that much force, like at all, really doesn't move
it. I was playing fine, was moving around, right?
Yeah.
Kaos was a little bit, we'll get into firmness in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But this one, right? What were we saying with this one?
The Target's definitely the one that has a different base than the Kaos and the Morpheus. Literally, it's like, it's almost like your generic,
OEM,
right?
Yeah.
But
really creepy.
But it's actually very, very squishy. This is definitely the squishiest one out of all of the, out of all the 3. This one's definitely the squishiest one. Now, surface and texture wise, it's basically an all control plus.
Yes.
Feels the same, performs the same.
Yes.
It's just that this base here has that extra squishiness, and if you get an X-ray pad, Aqua Control Plus, you know, it's like 3 millimeters thick,
Yes,
and
it's more firm.
and
And
it's
more
definitely
speedier.
a lot more firm. Just tiny bits. It's basically
tiny bit. The same.
it's the same thing basically, right? Yeah, this is basically Esports Tiger or Kovaak's Esports Tiger Kovaak's version of an Aqua Control Plus.
Yes.
I like it because it has that squishiness. That's the main difference.
Exactly. So now let's talk about the firmness, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
the squishiest. The three of the targets, the squishiest. Then there'll be the Chaos, right?
The Chaos, yeah.
And then the Morpheus being really firm. Like
Yeah,
really
the
firm.
Morpheus is really firm. It's
Yes.
a really firm pad.
Yes.
The Chaos is like in between the Morpheus and this one, you know? And
Yes,
like, you know, in
yeah.
a sense, it's like a firm squish.
Yes,
Makes
yes,
sense?
yes, yeah, it's true. So surfaces, the Chaos and Morpheus use the same surface. It has this, it's like this fuzzy surface. If you guys feel the GP4, it feels like that, right?
yeah.
As a matter of fact, performance-wise, is Morpheus performs kind of like a GP4, right? You
Yes,
feel
it
that
does.
hairiness and whatnot. You
Yeah.
feel that heaviness when you go in trying to track up and down, right? So this mouse pad's kind of like a GP4. Personally, I prefer the Chaos because I don't like that hairiness that it offers, right?
Yeah.
And that squishiness. So that squishiness, I feel like it caters to that specific playstyle we mentioned earlier, right? So you, for example, out of these three mouse pads, you prefer the Target, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why
I like,
for the Target?
Because I like having that extra like control. You know what I mean? Like
Squishiness, right?
I do press my mouse down. I've said this like time and time again.
Yeah.
I am a very shaky aimer.
Yeah.
And having pads that are like squishy, you know, or have kind of like not so much like slowness, but you know
Yeah.
they have to have a little bit of like heaviness.
Yes.
They have, you know, like that really does help me out. So
Yes.
when it comes to pads that are squishy, you know, I like that. You know,
Yeah.
it helps me with my jittering
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm just a very shaky aimer. And I perform really well with this one more than these two.
Yes.
But the second one that I really like was the Chaos.
Yes.
Okay, the Chaos. Now, why did you like the Chaos a lot?
Okay, so the three, I like the Chaos because first off, the X and Y is smooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like when mousepads. I like mousepads that feel even, right?
Yeah,
Smooth, right? And this one has the same X and Y. So the smoothness and the X and Y in this. It also has that low static friction. It has lower out of the three. This one has the lower static friction, right? Moving around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to just play better with this one than these two,
Yeah,
right? I wasn't playing that much better.
Yeah.
But for my play style, I just like tracking smoothness
Mm-hmm.
and like evenly. See the thing. Another reason I didn't like the TRG, right? Is because this thing is too squishy for me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is right in between, but it's not even too squishy. It's like
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah.
See, the thing about squishy mouse pads, sometimes for me, whenever I get in tense moments, I tend to put a little bit too much force, and that slows me down.
Yeah.
That doesn't it my tracking suffers, for example, right? So I tend to undershoot, undertrack because I just put too much force, right? This one, because it's a little firm, right? I don't have that issue, so I'm able to just play at the same. I'm able to play constantly the same, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now the Morpheus. Why didn't you like the Morpheus?
The Morpheus, well, because one, the hairiness, I really don't like that.
Yes.
You know, if I didn't like what's the mouse pad? The GP4 for
GP4,
some
yeah.
reason, you know, I'm not gonna like this one, right?
Yes.
If you have sensitive skin, yeah, this was definitely the most I wouldn't say roughest, but it's the most textured,
Yes.
right, out of both pads.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. But the main reason why I didn't like it was because the X and Y is different.
Yeah.
So moving your mouse up and down, you can feel that heaviness going towards
Yes.
it. So it slows you down.
Yes.
And moving left and right, it basically feels normal. You know,
Yes.
I don't feel any like heaviness going.
Yes.
You know, going against the mouse. And that's the thing that threw me off. I was using it for 3 days, and my first day I sucked with it. Second day I sucked with it. Third day I was barely okay with it. My gameplay with this mouse pad, I would say, very freaking mediocre.
Yeah.
Very, very, very mediocre.
Yes.
It's definitely a pad, and again, I've seen a lot of people. A lot of people don't like X and Y differences in pads.
No,
right?
like-
Why do you think a lot of pads that are different in X and Y's?
They're
Not popular.
Like the
Nobody really talks to
M510,
them.
like
And
people don't like
right?
that.
But
Yeah.
I personally kind of did like that mouse pad.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did.
Yeah, me
right?
too, yeah.
But that's the only one that I like that had a
Yeah.
different X, you
Yes.
know, X and Y. What's the Artisan Co? The right,
Co,
right, the Artisan
yeah,
Co.
yeah.
That one is an Artisan pad,
Yeah.
but only like 10 people in the world main it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's crazy. Like it's not a very talked about pad, right?
Nah.
So this was definitely my least favorite, and it's literally for those reasons.
Yes.
Right. Other than that, when it comes to the material and whatnot, I think this is a good pad. But if it's something that's up your alley, right? I
Yes.
think you're gonna be happy with it, right? Correct.
Yes. So this mouse pad. So I was playing with it for a while, right? And I realized that. Well, at least this is my experience with the mouse pad, right? So because of that X and Y difference, I noticed like I was playing Apex earlier, my master shots, when I was flicking to hit my master shots, they felt a little better, I guess. I could explain it right. They felt better because I was just able to stop where I wanted to a little better than these other mouse pads, right? And I feel that's because of the X and Y difference. So if you try the B180 Ti Sparky, remember what time you tried it? You can really feel the X and Y difference going up and down, right?
Yeah.
And I can't help but to think that because of that X and Y difference, whenever you flick right, left to right, whatever, up and down, when you flick, you go against the fabric.
Yeah.
And that gives you more of that break, so you stop a little bit before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gives you more of that stopping power, flicking, right?
Okay, yeah.
And again,
I mean, that makes sense. Like, yeah, like
at least for me, right? That's how I
yeah.
felt, and my master shots felt pretty good. And I was hitting them surprisingly. I was hitting my master shots pretty good with this mouse pad, right? But that being said, tracking and everything would just throw me off because
tracking with it was pretty rough on this pad, honestly.
Yes, and the GP4 actually, as a matter of fact, the GP4 I had on my review I was playing CS:GO, and like I feel like that X and Y difference will cater a lot more to for tac shooters, right? Yeah. And even then, it would be for those specific people who suffer from that flicking, right? That want a little bit more of that break when you flick, right? But that's just my opinion. That's just a theory, right? But yeah, so these mouse pads, the quality of these mouse pads are actually pretty damn good. They laid on flat. The stitching didn't fray. Yeah. Oh, the price tag, right?
The price tag. Yeah.
Price tag. So the price tag in these mouse pads, they go for $39.99. Addis has free shipping in the U.S. I don't know about other countries, right?
Yeah.
But for $40,
$40, not bad.
They're pretty damn
not bad.
Good.
I like them for what they are.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I think the collaboration with Kovaak's, right?
Yeah.
I think these pads are really good starter pads. You know what they remind me of?
Oh, yeah.
I was saying them.
Yeah.
I was like, they really remind me of Pokemon. You know, like I'm sure you guys have heard Pokemon, and I know this might sound stupid, but this is what they remind me of. They're you know, you get your first
starter Pokemon,
right? You know, you have Charmander, Bulbasaur, and what's the other one? Squirtle, right? Yeah, Squirtle. Most people would choose Bulbasaur/Charmander.
No, Squirtle/Charmander.
I mean, yeah, most people would choose Squirtle and Charmander.
Yeah.
And you know, the low percentage of people will choose Bulbasaur, right? You know, so that's how I see these. They like. I hope this video helps people understand what type of mouse pads they are, because again, they all have their own little differences, and that's what really sets them apart. Is those little differences here and there. None of these pads are faster than the other, right?
Not by
at least not by so much where it's like, oh my god, yeah, this is a speed pad. Like, they're all really well balanced, but it's those little differences that we just finished describing to you guys that kind of sets them apart, honestly.
Yes.
And that's what I like. So the Kovaak's Esports Tiger packs, I like them for what they are, honestly.
They're good starter mouse pads.
Yes, they really are.
I feel like if you're into mouse pads, or you want to get into mouse pads, you could probably pick these up, and you'll just see how much different those little differences make, right? Because even though they're little things, right? Like the side, like this one was bigger, right? This is longer.
Yeah.
And like, for flicking, you know, it makes kind of sense, right?
Yeah,
so like,
it does kind of make sense.
And then like the freaking the fabric, and like the squishiness, right? The firmness, the smoothness, right? So if you want to get into mouse pads, right, I feel like these are pretty good, just because you'll be able to see what we're talking about, and you'll be able to tell how much different you're able to play. At least for me, like I was playing better with this one than these two, right?
Yeah.
And you same, right?
I mean, I was playing pretty good with both of these, honestly. It's just that I just like this one better. You know, I had the better like break on it. You know. This one was definitely just not my cup of tea. I just gotta be with you guys. Definitely just not my cup of tea.
Mine's either. I appreciate for what it is, right? Yeah. I was able to tell my flicks were pretty damn good with it, right? But yeah, this is my least favorite. The design's cool though. The design's pretty cool though.
For sure. So I think the collaboration with Kovaak's was pretty good, honestly. Pretty good. Yeah, I could definitely recommend these three, right? But just keep in mind, you know, they are $40 a pop.
Yes.
So hopefully this video really gives you an understanding of what these mouse pads are, and helps you choose whether or not which one's right for you. Seriously, because you know, I seriously thought people are gonna get all three starter Pokemon.
No.
You know, they're just not gonna do that. So.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Links to everything's gonna be down below. This is Gus
and Carlos from Hardware Unplugged,
and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.